Hi everybody, I'm Ben and welcome to Art Less Ordinary. So, I will start my pour in a second. I am just going to show you last night's swipe. Still a tiny little bit wet, but not much. So it's dry enough to move around, but I wouldn't wipe my fingers over it. But really happy with this one. It's turned out quite well. The silver will shine more in daylight. But yeah, worked out well. Nice MDF board. Hasn't really warped at all. Sometimes they have I use a 16mm thick one. Sometimes they bend. When I say slightly, I mean ever so slightly. But this has worked out well. So I'm just going to put this away. And now, on with tonight's pour. So, I am going to do an experiment. I would like to do a cloud pour, but I'm going to see what happens when I do it as a dirty pour into the cup. And the dirty pour is pouring the paint in from a distance, so it smashes into the paint and kind of mixes a little bit. So I'm hoping with the orange and yellow, I'm going to get kind of a sunsetty, cloudy look. Hoping so. So I have lemon yellow from mont and orange from mont. So get them out of the way for now. And then the white is white from mont with decoart Americana decor satin enamel. I will tell you my measurements. They are 40 grams paint, 80 grams floetrol in both the yellow and the orange. And the white is 26 grams paint, 13 grams satin enamel, and 78 grams floetrol. So you don't use very much satin enamel. So for this whole painting, I've only used 13 grams of this. I do my measurements in grams, so it's just easier. If you stick to the same measurement, then it's all even that way. So hardly any of this. So, and this is one called Pure White. So put that out of the way, put my list out of the way, get my cup ready, and here we go. Just give everything a slight little stir. I made these about 30-40 minutes ago, so they should all be pretty good. The orange feels slightly thinner, but not much, so I'm not going to stress too much about that. So in the bottom of the cup, always just put a small amount, and then as you get higher, pour in more, because otherwise you put too much in the bottom, then you'll get a very big block colour in the centre. So I always go a bit of the satin enamel white in the bottom. Then from a height, put in a bit of orange. I'm hoping the orange and yellow are going to work out. I'm not sure. So this is why I like doing practices and tests. It's fun. And then we just keep putting bits in. So smaller amounts. And just keep going. Now, I probably won't have enough room in this cup to put all of the yellow and the orange on in it. It will end up getting full before the cup is full. So I'll spread some down onto the edges to help with the flow. So if this works out, I may do an orange and a pinky one to try to get some sunset colours going. Because where I live, we get really nice sunsets. And I'm always taking photos and looking at it. So I'm going to use most of the white. Actually, I'll finish off the white now, because the last part that you put in the cup is usually gets tipped off the edges when you are tilting. So I might as well put most of this in now, so I'm not tipping too much off. So as you can see in the cup, I'm already getting some effects come through. Now, that is all I'm going to put in the cup. Now I'm going to put this aside. There's not a lot of paint left over. I've used up most of it. I'm just going to put a bit down this edge. If you were doing a square canvas, I probably wouldn't stress too much about doing this, but being a rectangle, I just want to give it something to flow over. Also, this canvas size is a 12 by 16. And this does not have to be perfect. Most of you will end up tipping over the edge anyway. This is just to help it flow a little bit. And I always just do my corners because they're the hardest parts to get paint on when you're actually tilting over the edge. So this is quite rough. You just smear it on. Just helps the paint move a little bit. And if you don't cover every single spot, doesn't matter. Just need a little bit more. So even though it looks thin, there's actually a reasonable amount of paint on this side part. Okay, that's it for that side. And now, this side I'll do the orange. And if you don't have enough paint to do this, don't stress. It's not the most important part of the artwork. It is just a little bit to help the paint move. And you could use a palette knife or anything. I just used a pop stick because it's already dirty. Excellent. Tiny little bit more and we'll be done. Excellent. Okay. All good. So look, I'm getting reactions in here already. So we're going to just put all these cups aside. Now, I'm not sure how a dirty pour is going to work out with this. The clouds could get very muddy and it may not look that great, or it could turn out fantastic. This is why we have fun and we do experiments. So we're just going to pour it straight into the middle. Looks like it's going to be a lot more orange than it is yellow. Oh, there's a bunch of yellow finding its way out. And there's the white satin enamel at the bottom. But you'll see in a second, as this settles, more of the white will come to the surface. And who knows, this could actually give us orange and yellow clouds as well as white clouds because of the mixing of the paint when you do the pouring from high above. Alrighty. So my table is moving this way, so I'm going to prop it up with an extra pop stick underneath. So that just kind of gives me a little bit of adjustment. So I'm just going to move this down this way a little bit. It's going to start moving back, it always does. Now, give it a quick torch, not too much. You just got to pop all these little bubbles. Make sure the bubbles are gone. Stay back. Do another little torch. Don't let it settle, keep it moving the whole time. Come back, let it settle, then give another little torch. Okay, now, with this, the best thing to do is actually let this settle for a little bit, because what will happen is more of the clouds will start to form and come to the surface as you let it rest. Doesn't need to be too long, just a couple of minutes. I'm not going to overly let it rest because I don't want it to start tipping over the edge. So even though I've just torched it, more bubbles are coming up to the surface as we wait. But we won't worry about that because we will end up having to torch it after anyway. Whenever you do anything that is a dirty pour, you end up getting bubbles. There's no way you can get around that. It just happens. So I'm just going to go one more quick little torch. Okay. So as you can see, there is clouds forming. Oh. I hope I got that. I lose little whiskers from my beard, which is very frustrating. I don't have a long beard, but just little whiskers fall out and ruin my artwork. Always get yourself a paper towels ready. Okay, so now we just have to start tilting off the corners. I just want to make sure I'm recording before I do this so I don't... Yes, it's still recording. Excellent. Okay. So, first of all, let's just move it around the canvas. Take it slow. Try not to go over any of the edges just yet. Just kind of go to an edge. Come back. Whoops, it's tipping over at the top there a little bit. Go down to an opposite corner. Just so it's close. Then come back. Then go to a third corner. There's a fair bit of paint here. Come back. And then off to the fourth corner. And I may actually just go over the corner. Now I'm at the fourth corner. So take it slowly. Kind of try to get it as close to the corner as you can before it starts tilting over. Okay, there we go, over, come back. So I didn't get fully on the corner, so I'm just going to touch it up with my finger. Now, let's go this opposite way. Come down this way again. Take it easy. Once it looks like it's going to start tilting over the edges, go to the corner and come back. Then I just use my painted fingers and just touch up the corner. Move the paint to the middle, come down and do the third corner, come back. So if you notice, this time I'm not using a corner catcher. So I used the corner catcher on painting number 2 and 3, but not painting number 1, which was, I didn't use it on the blue one. So I'm trying to see whether I get similar results, because the blue one's the best one, without using the corner catcher. Okay, over the edge, come back. So I went right over that time. I'm just going to get rid of that yellow with my orange. Now, we want to just move this paint around, watching your pincher as you go. We are trying to force the paint to bring up more clouds. So moving it around can create them. And also, while you're at it, just think, is there any part of this which I would like to remove while I have the opportunity to? If you want to get rid of a certain corner, tip it off now. I don't think I want to, but I do want to stretch this paint to see if any more clouds will form up. And just watch your painting. Sometimes it starts sticking in some areas and you're kind of losing your pattern. I kind of like it there. So you just got to pick whereabouts you are happy with how it looks, and check all your sides to make sure that they are all covered. So they are. So now I'm not going to tilt anymore. I'm just going to give it a little torch. So I don't think I'm going to get those same effects that I got, or the bubbles that I got when I did the blue one. Don't know whether it is, sometimes certain paint colours react differently with certain things. So maybe the blue paint with the clouds, with the satin enamel reacted a bit different. But these clouds are still going to grow over here, and these here are still going to grow a little bit more too. We will give it a quick torch. Don't leave the torch in one spot at all. Always move it. So most of these bubbles are all gone. It did bring up a few more little white specks over here. Whether they're going to form into a bigger cloud or not, I'm not too sure. So by doing this as a dirty pour, it's kind of has brought up like some little cells or features here. It's put a lot of streaking in it. And a lot of the yellow has gone and it's become a bit more orange, but there is still a lot of yellow through here. That yellow shading is yellow over here, and there's bits that run over here. But kind of the orange has become a little bit more of the dominant colour in it. But I don't mind that at all. Orange is beautiful. It's just, it works well with whites, works well with yellows, and works well with reds. You just got to be careful when you use other colours with it, because it can kind of make funny colours. So I don't think I want to alter this anymore. All as I want to do now is pause the camera, leave this for 10 minutes, and let it settle into itself, because it will alter a little bit. and we'll see how much it alters. It may not alter a lot because I haven't done a dirty pour with this technique before. So I'll be back. Okay, we are back. So I think these clouds over here have kind of developed a little bit more, but I don't think a lot else has changed. So I think a dirty pour one is a little bit interesting. I wouldn't say it's as good as the blue one. I think the blue one's just turned out fantastic. And sometimes the paint does what it wants to do. But I am really happy. I still quite like this a lot. It's bright. At the same time, it's not, I don't know, it's not over the top. It's pretty cool. Got really cool kind of lacing going on through here in between the clouds. Got some nice fluffy things happening over here. And kind of all around the edges, there's interest happening everywhere. So this may still develop a little bit more over the next 20-30 minutes, but I don't think a lot is going to happen. So we just have to wait and see. But this will probably be as it looks when it's finished and dried. So I am going to get the camera. I'm going to bring you down for some close-ups, and this will be it. So here we go. Okay, so here we are. The colours are pretty close to what I see with my eyes. As you can see, there's yellow that runs down through here and through the middle. And down here you've got orange and yellow mixed a little bit. We've got some solid orange, but here's a close-up of this end. So as you can see, there's some decent detail. Nice fluffy little white clouds happening over here. Across the top there's some yellow mixed in with the orange on the edge of the clouds. And down over this side we've got lots of this nice lacing happening. So colours intermingling with the white. And some of these clouds have taken on an orange or yellow tone because it was a dirty pour. There's the centre or the main feature cloud. Refocused? Yeah. So there we go. This is a dirty pour, cloud pour combination. So experiment and have fun, because you know I could do this again with different colors and it may turn out completely different. So enjoy yourself, have fun with everything, because no point taking art too seriously, because this is enjoyable and that's how it should be. So share, like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. So I hope you guys had fun watching this, and I'll see you tomorrow for another artwork. Have a good night. Bye.